No trains, no stores, no way out. Out there on the Dakota prairie, the winter of 1880 brought a simple choice: find food or starve. The blizzards came every 3 days from October through April. Snow buried entire towns under 15-foot drifts. One empty pantry, one failed wheat harvest, one winter without rail deliveries, and an entire settlement could starve to death before spring. Here's what survival was really like during the long winter of 1880. So, yeah, if these stories work for you, subscribe. And I'm curious, what time is it where you are? Comment your city and time below. I check the comments and it's crazy seeing people from Seattle to Stockholm last time. The time zone thing never stops being weird to me. Alright, let's head back to October 1880, Dakota Territory. Trust me, it's going to be quite a ride. But first, get comfortable. Seriously, adjust those pillows, pull up that blanket, because where we're going, you're going to want to be cozy. Your eyes open in darkness. Not the gentle darkness of a cloudy morning, the thick, suffocating darkness of being buried. Your name is Sarah Bennett. You're 14 years old, and something is very, very wrong. The air feels strange, too quiet, too still, like the world stopped breathing. You sit up in bed and your hand hits something that shouldn't be there. Cold, solid, right next to your mattress. You push, it doesn't move. Your heart starts hammering. The window. Where's the window? There's always grey light from the window by now, even before dawn. Nothing, just blackness. You reach out again, your fingers touch something rough and icy. Snow, packed snow, against the inside wall of your family's claim shanty. Wait, what? You swing your legs out of bed and your bare feet hit the floor. Cold shoots up through your bones. The floorboards feel like they've been carved from ice. You grab your wool stockings, fumbling in the dark, pulling them on with shaking hands. Across the single room, you can hear your father moving. A match strikes. The sudden flare of light makes you squint. His face looks wrong in the flickering glow. Older, worried in a way that makes your stomach clench. Sarah, wake your mother and the boys. Don't open the door. Don't open the door? Why would he say that? You always open the door in the morning. It's October, for crying out loud. Indian summer. Yesterday was warm enough that folks were still cutting hay without coats. Your mother sits up, her hair loose around her shoulders. She takes one look at your father's face, and something passes between them, some adult understanding that makes the air feel even heavier. Your little brothers, James and William, are still asleep. James is 8. William is 6. They're sharing the other bed, curled together like puppies for warmth. Warmth. When did it get so cold? Your father lights the small stove in the corner, the one you use for cooking. The metal clicks and pops as it heats up, but the warmth doesn't spread. It just sits there in a little bubble, like the cold is pushing back. What happened? Your voice sounds small. Your father walks to the door. Not to open it, just to look at it, the gap at the bottom, where light usually sneaks through, packed solid with snow. Storm came in last night, he says. His voice is steady, but his hands aren't. You've never seen your father's hands shake before. Big one. Big doesn't begin to cover it. Your mother stands and wraps her shawl tight. She moves to the window, or where the window should be. Puts her hand against the wall. When she pulls it back, her palm is wet. It's melting through, she says quietly. The snow pressed so hard against the shanty that it's actually melting from the inside heat and seeping through the thin board walls. Your father nods. We're going to dig out, but we need to be smart about it. Smart, right. Because if you just open the door, what happens? Does snow pour in? Does the whole drift collapse on top of you? You're 14. You're supposed to know these things, living out here on the prairie, but nobody taught you what to do when your house gets buried. Your father starts pulling on his boots, his heavy coat. He wraps a scarf around his face until only his eyes show. "I'm going out through the window," he says. Through the window. You realise what he means. The snow hasn't filled the whole shanty. There's still a gap at the top. Maybe 2 feet, where the roof meets the walls. Your mother doesn't argue. That scares you more than anything. Your mother always has something to say, always has a plan, but right now she just stands there, hugging her shawl, watching your father prepare to climb out of your own window like it's a perfectly normal thing to do. It takes 10 minutes. 10 minutes of your father chipping away at the packed snow around the window frame, of him pushing and grunting and finally breaking through. Grey light floods in. Not sunlight, just grey, and the wind. My God, the wind. It screams into the shanty like something alive and angry. Your mother grabs a blanket and stuffs it into the gap, but the wind just laughs and pulls it through. You all rush forward, holding it in place, and your father squeezes through the opening. You catch a glimpse of outside before your mother blocks the view with her body. White. Everything is white. The sky, the ground, all of it blending together in a swirling, howling mass. Your father is out there somewhere. You can't see him, can't hear him over the wind. 10 seconds pass, 20, 30. Your mother's face is pressed against the window gap, the blanket clutched in her fists. She's whispering something. You can't hear the words, but you know she's praying. Then a shout, muffled, far away. Your father's head appears at the window, snow caked in his beard, his eyebrows. He's not smiling. Drifts about 8 feet high against the south wall. He yells, "I can't see the Olsons' place." The Olsons, your neighbours. Their shanty is less than 100 yards away. On a clear day, you can see Mrs. Olson hanging laundry. Your father can't see their house at all. "This came in last night," your mother shouts back. "Must have. I'm going to dig a path to the door. Keep the boys inside." He disappears again. You help your mother stuff the blanket back into the window gap. It doesn't do much. The cold has already settled into the shanty like an unwelcome guest that plans to stay. Your brothers wake up. James takes one look around and his eyes go wide. William starts to cry. Not loud. Just this quiet, scared whimpering. Your mother scoops him up. "It's just a snowstorm, sweetheart. Remember last winter? We had snow." Last winter had snow that maybe came up to your knees. This isn't snow. This is something else entirely. The wind outside sounds like wolves, like 100 wolves all howling at once. You've heard real wolves before. The prairie is full of them. But this sound is worse because you can't shoot a blizzard. Time moves weird when you're trapped, when you're cold and scared and trying not to show it because your little brothers are watching. Could be an hour, could be 2. Your father keeps working. You can hear him out there, cursing and grunting and shoveling. Sometimes the wind dies down just enough that you catch his voice. Then it roars back and swallows all sound. Your mother makes oatmeal on the little stove. Nobody's hungry, but she makes it anyway because that's what mothers do. They make breakfast. They keep routines going even when the world outside is trying to kill you. The oatmeal is thin. You notice. Your mother notices you noticing. "We'll get more supplies when the weather clears," she says. When, not if. You hold on to that. Finally, your father appears at the door. Actually at the door this time, not the window. He stumbles in, and snow comes with him, piling on the floor in a wet heap. He's shaking, not from fear, from cold. The kind of cold that gets into your bones and doesn't let go. Your mother helps him out of his coat. It's frozen stiff, literally stiff, like a coat-shaped piece of ice. She props it by the stove to thaw. Your father's hands are red, angry red, the colour of frostbite starting. Your mother takes them between her own and rubs. Gentle but firm. "Path's clear," he says through chattering teeth. "For now." For now. Those two words carry a lot of weight. You all stand there in your claim shanty in the thin grey light coming through the window and listen to the wind scream. It doesn't sound like it's planning to stop anytime soon. Your father sits down at the table. Your mother pours him coffee, what little they have left. He wraps both hands around the cup like it's precious, like it's the last warm thing in the world. "This isn't normal," he says finally. "It's October," your mother replies. "Like that explains everything." "I know it's October. That's what I mean. This isn't normal October snow." Nobody argues because he's right. October snow is supposed to be light, pretty even, the kind that melts by afternoon and makes the prairie look like someone spilled sugar across it. This isn't that. James presses his face against the window. You can't see out anymore. The snow has already drifted back up, blocking the view. But James stares anyway, like if he looks hard enough he'll see something other than white. "Can we go outside?" he asks. "No," your father says. Too quick, too sharp. James flinches, and your mother puts a hand on your father's shoulder. He takes a breath, tries again. "Not yet, son. Let the storm blow itself out first. Storms blow themselves out. Everybody knows that. A day, maybe two, then the sun comes back and everything goes back to normal. That's what you tell yourself. That's what you believe. You're 14 and you believe that storms end." But this one doesn't know it's supposed to. By noon, if it even is noon, you can't tell. The wind hasn't let up. If anything, it's gotten worse. The shanty creaks and groans like it's thinking about giving up, about letting the wind take it. Your mother starts going through the supplies. She does it casual, like she's just checking inventory. But you see how her lips move, counting. See how her face goes still when she finishes. You have flour, maybe 20 pounds, some dried beans, a little cornmeal, salt pork, but not much. Your father was supposed to go to town last week to stock up for winter. Supposed to, but he'd been busy harvesting what corn he could, trying to get it in before frost. Frost? Frost would have been a gift compared to this. The beans rattle as your mother puts them back on the shelf. The sound is too loud in the quiet between wind gusts. Your father is doing math in his head. You can see it on his face. Supplies divided by people divided by days until town. Town is 7 miles away. Might as well be 700 in this weather. "We'll be fine," your mother says. She says it like she means it. Like she's decided to mean it, even if it's not true. Your brothers play with their few toys on the floor. They've already forgotten about the storm. Kids are like that. They live in right now. They don't do the math. But you do. You're 14, old enough to count, to understand that 20 pounds of flour doesn't go far when you're feeding 5 people and you have no idea when you'll get more. Outside, the wind screams on and on and on. This is October 15th, 1880. You don't know it yet, but the storm won't stop for 3 days. You don't know that when it finally does stop, you'll have less than 72 hours before the next one hits. You don't know that the trains will stop running in 2 months and won't start again until May. You don't know that before this winter ends, you'll be grinding seed wheat in a coffee mill just to make a kind of bread that's more grit than grain. You don't know that you'll twist hay until your hands bleed because there's nothing else to burn. You don't know that some of your neighbours won't make it. That come spring, there will be fewer shanties on the prairie than there were in October. You don't know any of this yet. Right now, all you know is that you're cold, that you're a little bit scared, that your father's hands are still red from digging, and that the wind outside sounds like it's never going to stop. Your mother lights the lamp, even though it's not dark yet. Just grey. But the little flame helps. It makes the shanty feel less like a snow tomb and more like a home. You all move closer to the stove, not talking much, just being together, being warm as you can be anyway. Your father finally speaks. "I heard about winters like this from the old-timers up in Minnesota. "What did they say?" your mother asks, though you're not sure she wants the answer. "Said they came every 20 years or so, the hard ones. Said they could last for months." Months. The word sits in the air like something solid, something you could touch if you wanted to. You don't want to. "But those are just stories," your mother says. Old men talking big. Your father doesn't answer, just stares at his coffee cup like it might hold some kind of answer. You think about your friend Margaret Olson, about how she's probably sitting in her shanty right now too, with her family, listening to the same wind, about how you were supposed to help her practice reading today. Yesterday, practicing reading seemed important. Today, it seems like something from another life. The wind changes pitch, gets higher, more urgent, like it's trying to tell you something. Your father stands and checks the door again. The path he dug is already filling back in. You can see it through the gap at the bottom, snow creeping forward, patient and relentless. "I'm going to bring in more hay," he says. "For fuel. In this weather?" Your mother's voice goes sharp. "We'll need it. The coal won't last if this keeps up." He's already putting his coat back on, that frozen coat that's barely started to thaw. Your mother doesn't argue this time, just helps him wrap the scarf around his face tighter than before, makes him promise to tie a rope to the door handle so he can find his way back. Smart. You've heard stories about men getting lost 10 feet from their own houses in blizzards, walking in circles until they froze. Your father goes back out into the white. Your mother holds the rope, feeding it out, keeping tension. You can feel her counting in her head, counting his steps, counting seconds. William wakes up and asks for bread. Your mother cuts him a thin slice, thinner than usual. He doesn't notice. He's 6. 6-year-olds don't notice things like that, but James does. James is 8, and 8 is old enough to see. He looks at his slice, then at you, then at your mother. He doesn't say anything, just eats his bread slowly, making it last. You do the same. The bread tastes different when you know there might not be much more. Taste's important. Every crumb matters in a way it didn't matter yesterday. Your father comes back. 4 trips, 4 loads of hay. He stacks it in the corner, as far from the stove as possible. Hay and fire don't mix, unless you want a different kind of disaster. By the 4th trip, his face is the colour of old snow, that greyish white that means the cold has gone deep. Your mother makes him sit by the stove, rubs his hands again. His feet gets him warm before hypothermia can set in proper. You've never seen your parents like this, moving with this kind of careful purpose, like every action matters, like one mistake could end everything. It's terrifying. It's also weirdly normal, like this is just what you do, what people do. You get up, you deal with the crisis, you keep your family alive. Night comes early, or maybe it just feels early because everything is grey. Hard to tell when the sun never really showed up in the first place. Your mother makes more oatmeal, still thin, still watery, but hot, and that counts for something. You eat by lamplight, listening to the wind. It's become the soundtrack of your life, constant, unchanging. You're starting to forget what silence sounds like. Your father says the blessing before supper, thanks God for the food, for shelter, for each other, asks for the storm to pass. His voice cracks on that last part. William falls asleep again after eating. Kids are good at that, good at just checking out when things get scary. You wish you could do that. Just close your eyes and wake up when it's over. But you're 14, too old to escape into sleep, too young to do much of anything useful. So you sit and you wait and you listen to the wind and you wonder if this is how winter is going to be. Just you and your family and the endless howling white. Day 3 of the blizzard. You've lost track of time. Could be morning, could be afternoon. The grey light coming through the window doesn't change enough to tell. Your father is teaching James how to twist hay. Not because it's fun, not because there's nothing else to do, because you're running out of things to burn. The coal bin is half empty. Your father eyes it like a man watching his savings disappear. Each chunk that goes into the stove is one less chunk between you and freezing. You take a handful, your father says, demonstrating. Long stems work best, like this. He grabs a bundle of prairie hay from the pile in the corner. The stuff is coarse and scratchy. Your hands are already covered in little cuts from handling it. Twist it tight, tighter than you think, like you're wringing out a shirt. James tries. His twist falls apart immediately. Here, your father guides his hands. Feel that? You gotta really crank it. Get it dense. You watch from your spot by the stove. Your job is keeping William quiet and out of the way. He's getting antsy. 3 days trapped inside is about 2.5 days too long for a 6-year-old. Your mother is at the table, writing. She keeps a diary, always has, but now she's writing something else too. A list. Flour. 18 pounds left, beans, maybe 3 pounds, cornmeal, 2 pounds, salt pork, 1 small piece coffee, 1 4-pound sugar, gone. You can see the list from where you're sitting, can see how her hand shakes slightly when she writes, gone. No more sugar. William cried about that yesterday, wanted molasses on his bread. Your mother had to explain 3 times that there wasn't any. Finally, he understood, sort of. He still looks at the shelf like maybe it'll appear if he wishes hard enough. Your father gets a good twist going, shows James the technique. See how it wants to coil back on itself. Let it. That makes it tighter. The finished product looks like a thick rope, hard as wood, almost. Your father tosses it to you. Try burning that. You feed it into the stove. It catches slower than coal, but when it does, it burns hot, really hot, and it lasts longer than you'd expect. Russian Mennonites taught us this, your father says. They've been burning hay on the plains for years. Smart. The prairie grows hay like crazy. Endless acres of the stuff. Free fuel, basically, if you don't mind the work. And the smoke. God, the smoke. Hay smoke is different from wood smoke. Thicker. Heavier. It makes your eyes water and your throat itch. But it's warm. And warm beats comfortable. James makes another twist. This one holds together better. Your father nods approval. Good. Now make 20 more. 20. James's face falls, but he doesn't complain. He's learning fast that complaining doesn't change anything out here. Outside, the wind finally starts to ease up. Not stop, just ease, like it's taking a breath before the next round. Your father notices immediately. He's at the window, peering out through the small, clear spot. Storm's breaking, he says. Your mother looks up from her list. You sure? Wind's dropping. Visibility's getting better. Better is relative. You can maybe see 20 feet now instead of 2, but it's something. Your father pulls on his coat again, that same frozen coat. It's become his uniform, on, off, fighting the cold in shifts. I'm going to check on the Olsons. Take the rope, your mother says. Not a suggestion. I will. He ties one end to the door handle. The other end goes around his waist. Then he's out into the white. You all watch through the window. Watch him disappear into the grey. Watch the rope pay out. Watch it go taut. 1 minute, 2, 3. Your mother is counting under her breath. You can hear her. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 5 minutes. The rope jerks. 3 sharp tugs. The signal. He's found the Olsons' shanty. Everything's okay. Your mother exhales. You didn't realize she'd been holding her breath. 10 minutes. Your father comes back, snow-covered, half frozen, but alive. They're fine, he reports. Scared, but fine. Mr. Olson wants to try for town tomorrow if the weather holds. Town? Your mother sounds skeptical. We need supplies, all of us. The Olsons are down to nothing. Nothing. That word again. It's been showing up a lot lately. Your father stamps his feet, trying to get feeling back. Henderson's lost part of their roof. Snow caved it in on the south side. Your mother's hand goes to her mouth. Are they? They're okay. Moved everything to the north side, but they can't stay there long, not with the cold. The Hendersons have a baby, little Mary. She's maybe 6 months old. You think about a baby trying to survive in a shanty with half a roof. In this cold, your stomach clenches. They're coming here, your father says. It's not a question. I told them to come here. Your mother doesn't hesitate. Good. We'll make room. Make room. Your shanty is 12 feet by 14 feet. You're already sleeping 3 to a bed. But okay, you'll make room, because that's what you do. Out here, you don't let people freeze. You make room. The wind keeps dying. By late afternoon, you can actually see the Olsons' shanty again. It looks like a snow fort. Drifts piled up against it on all sides, but the roof is visible. Smoke coming from the chimney. They made it too. Your father and Mr. Olson and some of the other men spend the rest of the day digging paths, connecting the shanties, making little tunnels through the drifts so people can visit without getting lost. It's weird. Yesterday you were all alone. Today you're part of a snow village. Houses connected by trenches. The Hendersons arrive just before dark. Mr. Henderson carries baby Mary wrapped in every blanket they own. Mrs. Henderson follows, looking half dead from cold and fear. Your mother takes the baby immediately, unwraps her by the stove, checks her fingers and toes for frostbite. Baby Mary is blue, not crying blue, actually blue, the colour of bad cold. Your mother rubs her gently, breathes warm air on her tiny hands, tucks her inside her own shawl, skin to skin. She'll be all right, your mother says, but her voice is tight. Mrs. Henderson starts crying. Not loud, just quiet tears running down her cheeks. I thought she was gone. I thought... She's fine. Look, she's warming up already. And she is. The blue is fading to pink. Baby Mary starts to fuss, which is actually a good sign. Means she's got enough energy to complain. Your shanty is crowded now. 4 adults, 4 kids, 1 baby, all in 12 by 14 feet. You give up your bed to the Hendersons. You'll sleep on the floor by the stove. It's actually warmer there anyway. Your mother makes soup. The thinnest soup you've ever seen. More water than anything. A few beans, some salt pork for flavour. That's it. But there are 9 mouths to feed now instead of 5. So thin soup is what you get. Nobody complains. Mr. Henderson tries to give your father money for the food and shelter. Your father won't take it. Save it for spring, he says. We're all going to need it. Spring. It's October and you're already thinking about spring. That night, packed into your shanty like sardines, you learn something about survival. Body heat is real. All these people in one small space, the temperature goes up, not by much, but enough to notice, enough to matter. The baby sleeps between the Hendersons. William and James pile together in one bed. You're on the floor with a thin blanket, but Mr. Olson stopped by earlier with heated stones wrapped in cloth. Those stones are magic. They hold heat for hours. You tuck them around yourself and suddenly the floor doesn't feel quite so much like ice. Your mother taught you this trick last winter. Heat stones in the fire during the day, wrap them in wool, put them in beds before sleep. Poor man's heating system. Out here, everybody's a poor man, so everybody uses stones. You drift off listening to the breathing of 8 other people, the fire crackling in the stove, the wind quieter now, like it's resting up for the next round. Tomorrow your father and the other men will try for town. Tomorrow you'll find out if the rest of the world is still out there. Tomorrow. But tonight, you're warm enough, fed enough, alive enough. Tonight, that's all that matters. You wake up to your mother shaking your shoulder. Sarah, up. It's still dark, probably 4 in the morning, maybe 5. What's wrong? The men are leaving for town. We need to make them food for the trip. Right. Town. 7 miles. In snow that's probably hip-deep in places. You help your mother make johnny cakes. Just cornmeal and water. Fried up quick. They're dense and heavy and taste like sadness, but they'll keep a man going. Your father eats standing up, already dressed for the cold. Mr. Henderson and Mr. Olson are with him. 3 men, 1 wagon, pulled by Mr. Olson's 2 horses. We'll be back by nightfall, your father says. If the weather holds, your mother adds. If the weather holds? He agrees. They leave in the dark. You watch them go, the wagon creaking through the snow, the horses straining, 3 small shapes disappearing into the grey. Your mother closes the door. Mrs. Henderson is nursing baby Mary by the stove. Mrs. Olson arrived earlier with some mending, keeping hands busy, keeping minds occupied. The boys are still asleep. Lucky them. We should make more hay twists, your mother says, while we have time. While we have time. Like time is running out. Like there's a clock somewhere counting down. Maybe there is. You spend the morning twisting hay until your hands cramp, making pile after pile of the stuff, fuel for the stove, insurance against the cold. Mrs. Henderson helps when she can, when the baby sleeps. Mrs. Olson shows you a better technique, tighter twists, denser. They burn slower that way. By noon you've made maybe 100 twists. It's not enough. It'll never be enough, but it's something. You eat a thin lunch, more thin soup. You're starting to really understand that word, thin. It applies to everything now. Thin soup, thin blankets, thin hope. The afternoon drags. You try to teach James and William their letters, but they're too restless, too worried about their father. So you let them play instead. Let them be kids for a little while before they have to grow up all the way. Mrs. Olson tells stories about Sweden, where she grew up, about winters there that lasted 6 months, about how they survived on dried fish and black bread and not much else. This too shall pass, she says in her thick accent. All winters end. You want to believe her. The sky is getting dark again when you hear it. The sound of wagon wheels, horses whuffing, men's voices. They're back. You all rush to the door. The men are climbing down from the wagon, covered in snow but smiling, actually smiling. They brought food, not a lot. The store in town was already running low, but some, flour, more beans, a little coffee, some dried apples that make William shriek with joy. Your father hands your mother a small package. Sugar, he says. She actually tears up. The men tell stories while your mother unpacks the supplies about how the drifts on the road were taller than the wagon, how they had to dig out 3 times, how the town is already worried about running out. Trains haven't come through since before the storm, Mr. Olson reports. Tracks are buried. They'll clear them, your mother says. They always clear them. Sure, Mr. Olson agrees. But he doesn't sound sure. That night you have real bread, made with real flour and a tiny bit of sugar. It tastes like heaven, like hope, like maybe things will be okay. The Hendersons go back to their patched-up shanty. Mr. Henderson thinks they can make it work for now. Cover the hole with canvas and boards. Keep the fire going. Your family has the shanty to yourselves again. It feels huge, empty. You spread out in your beds like royalty. Your father sits by the stove, smoking his pipe. He doesn't smoke often. Tobacco's expensive, but tonight he lights up and just sits there thinking. Pa, James asks, is the winter over now? Your father takes a long draw on his pipe, exhales slowly. No, son, I don't think it is. How do you know? The old-timers in town, they're saying this is just the start. They've seen winters like this before. Say they can last till May. May. It's October. 7 months of this. Your mother doesn't say anything, just keeps knitting by lamplight, click, 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 making wool socks, making warmth. You think about 7 months, about flour and beans and coffee running out, about trains that don't come, about snow that never stops. You think about baby Mary, blue and cold. You think about thin soup getting thinner, and you wonder if you're strong enough for this, if any of you are. Outside, the wind picks up again. Not like before, not blizzard loud, just a whisper, a promise. I'm not done yet, it seems to say, not even close. You pull your blanket tighter and try to remember what warmth feels like. Real warmth, summer warmth, sun on your face warmth. It's getting harder to remember, like summer was something you dreamed, something that maybe never existed at all. Your mother blows out the lamp to save oil. Darkness settles in thick and heavy. You can hear everyone breathing. Your father, your mother, James and William in their bed. The stove ticks as it cools. The hay twists burn down to ash. Tomorrow you'll make more. Tomorrow you'll do it all again. Wake up. Stay warm. Eat thin soup. Twist hay. Wait for the next storm. Because there will be a next storm. You can feel it coming, in the air, in the way the wind sounds, in how your father's face looked when he said, just the start. This is your life now. This is what October means. Not harvest, not preparation for a gentle winter, not anything you planned or expected or wanted, just this, just grey and white and cold and wind, just fighting to stay alive, just winter. And somewhere out there in the darkness, the next blizzard is already forming, already heading your way, already deciding who lives and who doesn't. You close your eyes and hope you're on the right side of that decision. Hope is about all you've got left. November comes in with another blizzard. Of course it does. You're starting to see the pattern now. 3 days of storm, 2 days of calm, 3 days of storm, like clockwork, like the prairie has a schedule and it's sticking to it. Your father marks each storm on the wall with a piece of charcoal. Little black lines counting, keeping track. There are already 12 marks, 12 storms since October 15th. It's only been 5 weeks. You're doing math in your head that you don't want to do. If this keeps up till May, like the old-timers said, that's 24 more weeks. 8 storms a month, times 6 months. 48 more storms. You stop doing the math. The flour sack is lighter now. You can tell when you pick it up. Used to be heavy, solid. Now it's got give to it. Empty space at the top. Your mother measures it out in smaller and smaller portions. A cup here, half a cup there. Rationing without calling it rationing. William doesn't understand why his bread is smaller. James does. He eats his piece slow, making it last. Sometimes he breaks off a bit for William when your mother isn't looking. You pretend not to notice. The town tried to send a telegram east, to Winona, to Minneapolis, anywhere, asking for supplies, for help. The telegram didn't go through. Lines are down, buried under snow or blown over by wind or both. You're cut off. Mr. Olson brought the news 3 days ago. Stood in your doorway, snow covering his shoulders, and said the words nobody wanted to hear. No trains coming, not till spring. Your mother's face went white. Then she nodded, smoothed her apron. Well then, we'll manage. We'll manage. Like it's that simple. The thing is, your mother can make anything sound possible. She's got this way of saying things that makes you believe them even when you know better. But you saw her face that night, saw her sitting at the table after everyone else was asleep, staring at the flour sack. Just staring. You didn't say anything. What would you say? It's late November now. The 3rd week, maybe. Hard to tell. Days blur together when they're all grey. Your father comes in from checking the animals. They've got 2 cows and 3 chickens in a lean-to next to the shanty. The cows are getting thin. The chickens stopped laying a week ago. Too cold, too dark. Chickens need light to lay. Lost a chicken, your father says, stamping snow off his boots. Your mother looks up. Dead? Froze. I found her this morning. Nobody cries about a frozen chicken. You eat it. Waste is a sin when you're hungry. That night, you have chicken soup. Real chicken. The first meat in 2 weeks. It tastes so good you want to cry. The broth is rich and warm and fills your stomach in a way thin oatmeal never does. But it's just one chicken, one meal. Tomorrow, you'll be back to beans and cornmeal, if the beans last. William asks if you can have chicken again tomorrow. Your mother smiles and says maybe. She's lying. You all know she's lying, but William nods and accepts it because he's 6 and 6-year-olds believe their mothers. The blizzard outside tonight sounds different. Meaner. The wind screams instead of howls. Snow pelts the walls like someone throwing gravel. Your father checks the door 3 times, making sure it's secure, making sure the drift outside isn't getting too high. Last week, the Andersons' door got buried completely. They had to dig out through the window. Mr. Anderson said it took 2 hours. 2 hours to dig your way out of your own house. That's where you're at now. That's normal. You go to bed with the wind screaming and wake up to silence. The quiet is worse than the noise. The quiet means the snow is piling up, muffling everything, burying the world. Your father is already up, already digging. You can hear him outside, cursing under his breath, the shovel hitting packed snow. Scrape, scrape, scrape. James wants to help, but your mother says no. It's too cold, too dangerous. So James sits by the window and watches. His breath fogs the glass. He draws pictures in the fog. Houses, trees, the sun, things he's forgetting. By afternoon, your father has the door clear, has paths dug to the Olsons and the Hendersons, has fed the animals what little hay is left. We're low on feed, he says to your mother, quiet, like if he says it quiet enough it won't be true. How low? Week? Maybe 2, if we stretch it. 2 weeks. Then what? You can't eat cows that starve to death. The meat goes bad, turns toxic. You've heard stories about that, about families who tried, about the sickness that followed. Your mother sets her jaw. We'll figure it out. There it is again, that certainty, that refusal to panic. You wish you had that ability to just decide things will work out. The town holds a meeting that night. Everyone who can make it gathers at the surveyor's office. It's the biggest building in town, maybe 20 feet by 30. 75 people pack inside. Standing room only. Body heat fogs the windows. Mr. Hartley, who runs the general store, stands up front. His face is grey, tired. We need to talk about supplies, he says. Nobody says anything. Everyone knows what's coming. The store's nearly empty. We've got maybe 3 weeks of flour left if we ration. Less than that for everything else? 3 weeks. The words hang in the air like smoke. What about the seed wheat? Someone calls out. Seed wheat. The wheat farmers saved for spring planting. The stuff you're not supposed to eat, because if you eat it, there's no crop next year. But if you don't eat it, there might not be a next year. Mr. Hartley nods. We've been discussing that. Some of the farmers are willing to sell at cost. At cost. That's generous. That's survival math. Selling the future to buy the present. Your father raises his hand. I've got 40 bushels. I'll sell 30. Other farmers chime in. They'll sell. They have to. Money won't keep you warm. Wheat might keep you alive. The meeting lasts an hour. People volunteer to go house to house, collecting whatever food can be spared, setting up a rationing system, making sure everyone gets something, walking back to the shanty. The cold bites through your coat like it's got teeth. Your face goes numb. Your fingers stop feeling. This is the kind of cold that kills, quick and mean. If you're not careful, if you stop moving, you'll just freeze where you stand. Your father hurries everyone along. No dawdling, no stopping. You make it home and pile inside. Your mother has the stove going hot. You all crowd around it, thawing out. William's fingers are white. Your mother rubs them between her hands. Gentle, patient, waiting for the colour to come back. It does. Pink, then red. He whimpers when the feeling returns, that pins and needles pain that means you're not frostbitten. Not yet. We're not going to the next meeting, your mother says. Not unless we have to. Your father doesn't argue. That night you dream about food. Ridiculous amounts of food. Tables piled high with bread and butter and roasted chicken and pies and everything you can imagine. You're stuffing your face when you wake up. Your stomach is cramping, empty, angry. Breakfast is oatmeal, a small bowl, watery. Your mother apologizes. This is all we can spare today. You eat it without complaint. What's the point of complaining? The days start bleeding together. Wake up, stay warm, eat a little, twist hay, go to bed hungry, do it again. The blizzards keep coming, like they're on a schedule, like they have a quota to fill. 3 days of storm, 2 days of calm. Your father's marks on the wall keep multiplying. 20 storms, 25, 30. It's December now, you think. Hard to know for sure. The calendar on the wall still says November, but that can't be right. Time is doing weird things, stretching out, compressing. An hour feels like a day feels like 10 minutes. You're losing track. The seed wheat arrives. Your father brings home 2 big sacks, sets them in the corner like treasure, which is what they are. 60 pounds of wheat, raw, unground, but edible. The problem is making it edible. You need to grind it, turn those hard kernels into something you can bake with. Your family doesn't have a grain mill. Nobody in town does. Those are expensive, big, the kind of thing you'd order from a catalogue and wait for the railroad to deliver. Yeah, good luck with that. What you do have is your mother's coffee grinder. It's small, hand-cranked, made for coffee beans, not wheat, but it's all you've got. Your mother dumps a cup of wheat berries into the grinder, starts cranking. It's slow work. The grinder jams. The wheat comes out coarse, gritty, more like cracked grain than flour. But it's something. You take a turn. Your arm gets tired after 5 minutes. The crank is hard to turn. The wheat doesn't want to break down. James tries. He can barely budge it. Your father takes over. He cranks for an hour, gets maybe 3 cups of rough flour. This is going to take forever, he says. He's not wrong. You need flour for bread. For the bread you need, you'd have to grind for days. But what choice do you have? That night your mother makes bread from the wheat flour. It's dense, heavy, full of chunks of wheat that didn't grind all the way. It's also the best thing you've eaten in weeks. It's bread, real bread. It fills your stomach and makes you feel human again. William stuffs his face and asks for more. Your mother gives him another thin slice. He doesn't complain that it's thin. He's learning. You all are. The grinding becomes everyone's job. You take shifts. An hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon. Crank, crank, crank. Fill a bowl. Start again. Your hands cramp. Your shoulders ache. But you keep going because the alternative is starving. The coffee grinder becomes the most important object in your house, more important than the stove, more important than the beds. Without it, the wheat is useless. With it, you've got bread. Mrs. Olson stops by one afternoon. She looks thin. Everyone looks thin now. Faces going gaunt. Cheekbones showing. "Do you have any flour to spare?" she asks. Her voice is small, ashamed. Asking for help doesn't come easy. Your mother doesn't hesitate. She fills a small bag with the wheat flour you've ground, hands it over. "Pay me back in spring," she says. Mrs. Olson starts crying, just stands there in your doorway with tears running down her face. "Thank you, thank you." After she leaves, you check the wheat supply. You just gave away a day's worth of grinding. Your mother sees you looking. We help each other or we all die. That's how this works. She's right. You know she's right. But it's hard to be generous when you're hungry. The blizzard that night is bad, worse than usual. The wind sounds like it's trying to tear the shanty apart. You lie in bed listening to the walls creak, wondering if they'll hold. They do. Barely. In the morning, there's a drift against the south wall that reaches the roof. Your father has to dig a tunnel just to get out the door. The cold is getting worse too. It's not just cold anymore, it's painful. The kind of cold that makes your lungs hurt when you breathe. Your father says it's probably 20 below, maybe 30. You don't know what 30 below feels like. You do now. It feels like dying. The cows are struggling. You can see their ribs. Their breath comes out in big white clouds and freezes in their coats. Your father gives them the last of the hay. Then he looks at the empty feed bin and his face goes hard. "We're going to have to make a choice soon," he says to your mother. You know what choice he means. Keep the cows and watch them starve, or butcher them now, get meat while there's meat to get. Your mother nods. After the next storm, we'll decide then. After the next storm, 3 days away. You count down. 3 days, 2 days. 1, the storm comes, goes. Leaves another 2 feet of snow in its wake. Your father makes his decision. He butchers the smaller cow, does it quick, clean, the way you're supposed to. There's meat now, more meat than you've seen in months. It hangs in the lean-to, frozen solid. Natural refrigeration. You'll eat for weeks, maybe a month if you're careful, but come spring you'll only have 1 cow. 1 cow to plough with, 1 cow to breed, 1 cow to start over with, if you make it to spring. If. That word is doing a lot of work these days. December drags on. The blizzards keep coming, the wheat keeps grinding, the meat gets slowly eaten. You're surviving. That's all just surviving, not living, not planning, not hoping for much beyond tomorrow, just making it through one more day, one more storm, one more night of cold and hunger and fear. You think about the girl you were in October, the one who worried about practicing reading with Margaret, the one who thought a 3-day storm was bad. That girl seems like a stranger now, someone soft, someone who didn't understand what hard meant. You understand now. Hard is watching your little brother's ribs start to show through his shirt. Hard is cranking a coffee grinder for hours until your hands bleed, just to make enough flour for one day's bread. Hard is smiling and saying everything's fine when you go to bed so hungry your stomach cramps. Hard is this, all of this, every single day of this. Your mother catches you staring at nothing, at the wall, at the endless white outside the window. "Sarah," she says softly, "come help me with the mending." You don't want to mend. You want to scream, want to run outside and keep running until you find somewhere that isn't buried in snow. But you don't. You pick up the needle and thread. You mend the hole in James's sock. You do what needs doing. Because that's all there is, the things that need doing. Grind the wheat, twist the hay, mend the clothes, stay warm, stay alive. Tomorrow you'll do it again and again and again, for as long as it takes, for as long as winter lasts. Outside, the wind starts picking up again, right on schedule, 3 days since the last storm. Time for the next one. You don't even react anymore. Don't look up. Don't stop sewing. Just listen to the wind build. Listen to it grow from a whisper to a roar. Here we go. Again, January is when you stop counting. The marks on the wall run together, too many to track, too depressing to look at. Your father stops adding new ones. What's the point? The blizzards come, they go, they come back. That's just how it is now. The meat from the butchered cow is gone. You ate the last of it 3 days ago. Boiled the bones twice to get every bit of marrow. Made broth so thin it was basically hot water with a memory of beef. Now there's just the wheat, and even that's getting low. Your mother does the math out loud one morning. She's given up pretending, given up protecting you from the truth. 20 pounds left, she says, looking at the sack. If we're careful, that's 2 weeks, maybe 3. Then what? James asks. He's not being difficult. He genuinely wants to know. Your mother doesn't have an answer. 2 weeks. The trains won't run in 2 weeks. Spring won't come in 2 weeks. Help won't arrive in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you'll be out of food. You're grinding wheat when someone pounds on the door. Hard, urgent. Your father opens it. Mr. Wilder's boy is standing there. Almanzo. He's maybe 20, 21, tall, farm strong, but right now he looks scared. There's wheat, he says, breathing hard. South of town, a settler. He's got 60 bushels he'll sell. Your father's eyes go wide. How far south? 12 miles. Maybe 15. 15 miles. In this weather, with drifts that could bury a wagon, with cold that will freeze you solid if you stop moving. Who's going? Your father asks. Me, Cap Garland. We're leaving in an hour. Cap Garland, another young guy, maybe 19, works at the store. 2 boys, 15 miles. To find wheat that might not even exist. Your father nods. I'll help you pack. They leave before noon. You watch from the window. Almanzo and Cap, 2 dark figures against the white. They're on foot. Horses would break through the drifts. On foot they can stay on top. Mostly. They each carry a pack. Light, because they'll need room for the wheat on the way back. If they make it back. Your mother prays. Out loud. Right there at the window. Asks God to bring them home safe. To let them find the wheat. To please, please let this work. You've never heard her pray like that before. Desperate, begging. It scares you more than the cold does. The boys are gone for a day, then 2, then 3. People start talking, start saying they probably froze, start planning for the worst. Your mother won't hear it. They'll be back. They're smart boys. Day 4. Still nothing. The town's getting quieter. People aren't visiting anymore. Too cold, too weak. Everyone's hunkered down in their own shanties, burning their own hay, grinding their own wheat, waiting. You're in that weird space where you're hungry all the time, but you've also forgotten what full feels like. Your stomach stopped growling. Now it just aches. A constant, low-level pain that's become normal. Williams stopped asking for more food. He eats his small portion and doesn't complain. He's 7 now. When did that happen? You think he had a birthday in November. Nobody celebrated. Nobody had the energy. Your mother's skirts hang loose. Your father's belt has new holes punched in it, tighter and tighter. James looks like a little old man, thin face, tired eyes. You catch your reflection in the window glass one evening, don't recognise yourself for a second. Who's that gaunt girl? Where'd her face go? Oh, that's you. That's what starving looks like. Day 5. You're giving up hope. Your father won't say it, but you can see it in his face. He's already planning what comes next. Rationing the wheat even more. Maybe butchering the last cow. Then you hear it. Shouting. You run to the window. Half the town is outside. People are pointing, crying, laughing. 2 figures in the distance, getting closer, each one carrying a sack. They made it. Almanzo and Cap stumble into town more dead than alive. Their faces are black with frostbite. Their hands are frozen to the wheat sacks, have to be pried off. But they brought wheat. 60 pounds of it. 60 pounds that'll keep the town alive a little longer. Mr. Hartley buys it all, divides it up fair. Every family gets a share based on size. You get £8, £8, that's another week, maybe 10 days. Your mother cries when your father brings it home, just sits at the table with her face in her hands and sobs. You've never seen her cry before. Not once. Not through any of this. But now she's crying. From relief. From exhaustion. From the weight of keeping everyone fed and warm and alive for months on end. Your father holds her, doesn't say anything, just holds her while she breaks down. James and William don't understand. They think something's wrong. You pull them aside and explain, Ma's okay, she's just tired. These are happy tears. They don't look convinced, but they nod anyway. That night, you have bread made from the new wheat. It tastes the same as the old wheat, Coarse, gritty, hard on the teeth. It's the best thing you've ever eaten. Almanzo loses 3 toes to frostbite. Cap loses parts of both ears. Small price to pay, people say. They saved the town. Heroes, that's what they are. 2 half-frozen boys who walked 30 miles round trip in killing cold just to find food. You think about that. About how survival sometimes looks like stupidity, like doing the thing that'll probably kill you because the alternative is definitely dying. 2 weeks later, the wheat's gone again. All of it. Every pound from the Almanzo trip. Ground up, baked, eaten. You're back where you started. Low supplies, no relief coming. Winter stretching ahead like a prison sentence. The lamp oil runs out. Your mother keeps the lamps going as long as she can, measuring drops, being stingy with the light, but you can't measure out forever. One night she lights the lamp and it flickers, sputters, dies, no more oil. Now when the sun goes down, you sit in the dark. Complete dark, the kind of dark that presses on your eyeballs, that makes you wonder if you've gone blind. The only light is the glow from the stove, orange and dim. It throws weird shadows, makes everything look wrong. You eat supper in near darkness, can't see your food, just put the spoon to your mouth and hope. Your mother tries to keep spirits up, tells stories in the dark, stories about when she was young, about summers in Wisconsin, about lake swimming and berry picking and warm sun. William falls asleep during the stories. James tries to stay awake, but he can't. Too tired, too dark, too much. You and your parents sit in the blackness after the boys sleep, not talking, just existing. This is the worst part, your mother says quietly. Worse than the hunger. Just sitting in the dark day after day, your father agrees. Makes you forget what things look like, what colours are. He's right, you're forgetting. When you try to picture grass, it's just a grey idea. Can't remember what green looks like. Can't remember blue sky or yellow sun. Just white and grey and black. That's your whole colour palette now. The grinding gets harder. Your hands are raw, blistered. The skin cracks and bleeds. Your mother wraps them in cloth, but the cloth soaks through. Blood on the grinder handle. Blood in the wheat flour. You grind anyway. What choice do you have? Everyone takes shifts. Your father does morning. You do afternoon. Your mother does evening. James tries, but his arms are too weak. He can only manage 10 minutes before he has to stop. Crank, crank, crank. The sound drives you crazy. That metal on metal grinding. The wheat kernels cracking over and over. Hours and hours. Your shoulder develops a permanent ache. Your forearm burns. Your wrist clicks when you rotate it. But you keep going because stopping means starving. The flour you make isn't even real flour anymore. It's chunky, barely broken down. The coffee grinder is wearing out, getting dull, can't handle this much work. The bread gets worse, more like eating gravel than food, hurts going down, sits heavy in your stomach, but it's calories, barely, just enough to keep you moving. You're losing weight fast now, everyone is. Your clothes don't fit, your boots are loose, your hair is falling out in clumps. Your mother finds it on your pillow one morning, a whole handful of hair. She doesn't say anything, just smooths your remaining hair, braids it tight so maybe it'll stay. Malnutrition. That's what's happening. You're eating, but you're not eating enough. Not eating the right things. Your body's eating itself. Breaking down muscle for fuel. Shutting down non-essential functions. Like hair. Like monthly bleeding. Yours stopped 2 months ago. You were worried at first. Now you're grateful. One less thing to deal with. Mr. Henderson brings news one frozen morning. The Clarks left town, just packed up and left. In this weather? Your father asks. Said they'd rather die trying than die waiting. Die trying. die waiting. Those are the options now. The Clarks had a baby, 6 months old. You wonder if they made it, if they're holed up somewhere safe, or if they're frozen on the prairie, buried under snow until spring thaw. You'll probably never know. More families talk about leaving, about trying for the east, for Huron or Brookings or anywhere that might have supplies. Your father says no. We stay. Moving in this cold is suicide. He's probably right, but staying feels like slow suicide. You're stuck between two kinds of dying, quick or slow. Take your pick. February comes, you think. Time is completely meaningless now. Could be February, could still be January. Who knows? The wheat is down to £10, then 8, then 5. Your mother measures it out in cups now. 1 cup per day for the whole family. That's it. That's what you get. 1 cup makes maybe 4 pieces of bread, thin pieces, more air than substance. You eat yours in tiny bites, make it last an hour, trick your brain into thinking there's more. It doesn't work, but you try anyway. William stops playing, just sits, stares at nothing, conserving energy. James sleeps most of the day, says he's not tired, but he is. His body's shutting down, going into hibernation mode. Your mother and father don't talk much anymore. What's there to say? Everything that matters has already been said. You're all just waiting for spring, waiting for trains, waiting for this to end, waiting. One morning you wake up and can't get out of bed. Not won't, can't. Your legs don't work right. No strength. Your mother helps you up, makes you walk around the shanty, forces your muscles to move. You have to stay strong, she says. Spring's coming. You have to be ready. Spring. Right. That thing that might happen. That theoretical concept. You walk, even though it hurts, even though you'd rather just lie down and sleep forever. You walk because your mother says so, because giving up isn't an option yet. The blizzards keep coming. Smaller now, less fierce, like winter's getting tired too, or maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe the storms are exactly the same and you're just numb to them, hard to tell anymore. You're sitting in the dark one night when your father speaks. I'm proud of you, Sarah. You're surprised. Why? You haven't complained. Not once. You've done everything we asked, helped with the boys, kept going. You don't know what to say. You've thought about complaining. Plenty. You've screamed into your pillow more than once, cried yourself to sleep, but out loud? No. You haven't complained out loud. We're going to make it, your father says. All of us. We're going to see spring. You want to believe him. You really do. But you've stopped believing things will work out, stopped trusting in happy endings. Now you just exist, 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 breath at a time. That's all you can manage, and some days it barely feels like enough. Outside the wind picks up. Again. Always again. You close your eyes and try to remember what silence sounds like. You can't. The wind has become part of your brain, part of your thoughts. You hear it even when it's not there. When you do get a calm day, a truly silent day, it feels wrong, unnatural, like waiting for a punch that never comes. Your teeth hurt, all of them, constant dull ache that won't quit. Your mother says it's the lack of fresh food, scurvy maybe. She makes you chew on hay sometimes, says there might be something in it that helps. There's not, but you chew it anyway because she asks you to, because pretending to have solutions is better than admitting you're helpless. James has sores in his mouth, can't eat the hard bread without crying. Your mother soaks his portion in water first, makes it soft, makes it possible. He's so thin you can count every rib, every bone in his back. He looks like a skeleton wearing skin. You probably do too. William barely talks anymore. When he does, his voice is quiet, flat. All the 7-year-old energy just gone. You miss his loudness, his questions, his complaints. You'd give anything to hear him whine about wanting more food, but he's learned not to ask for things that don't exist. The town gets quieter. You used to see people moving between shanties, used to hear voices, laughter sometimes. Not anymore. Everyone's locked in their own frozen boxes, surviving separately, too tired to be social, too weak to visit. You wonder how many have died. Wonder if you'd even know. If someone froze in their shanty and nobody checked for a week, would anyone notice? Probably not. That's where you're at. That's how alone this feels. A town full of people, all dying separately, all too focused on their own survival to worry about anyone else's. Your mother still shares when she can. When the Olsons come asking, when the Hendersons need help, she gives from the little you have. Your father doesn't argue anymore. He used to. Used to say you can't help others when you're drowning yourself, but now he just nods. Lets her give. Because what's the point of surviving if you have to become someone else to do it? You sit in the dark and think about spring. Try to picture it. Green grass, warm sun, birds singing. Can't do it. Can't imagine warmth. Can't imagine full. Can't imagine not being scared. This is your life now. This is what you are. A girl who grinds wheat and burns hay and sits in the dark and waits. Just waits for spring, for trains, for help, for anything. Your father makes another mark on the wall. You didn't think he was still counting. How many, you ask? He counts under his breath. 63. 63 blizzards since October. You do the math even though you don't want to. That's 4 months. Give or take. October, November, December, January, February now maybe. If winter lasts till May like they said, that's 3 more months. 45 more storms. You can't do 45 more storms. You can barely do 1 more day. But you don't say that. You just nod. Add the number to the pile of terrible things you know. The coffee grinder breaks. Not completely. Just the handle snaps right off while your father's cranking. He stands there holding the broken piece, staring at it like it personally betrayed him. Can you fix it? Your mother asks. I can try. He spends an hour with wire and a nail, trying to jury-rig something, anything. The grinder is life. Without it, the wheat is useless. Finally, he gets it working again. Sort of. It's loose, wobbly, but it turns. Be gentle with it, he warns. This might be all we get. So now you crank even slower, even more careful. Can't afford to break it again. Can't afford for this fix to fail. The grinding takes even longer now. What used to be an hour is now 2. 2 hours of careful, slow cranking to get 1 cup of flour. Your whole day revolves around the grinder. Wake up, grind, eat a little, grind, sit in the dark, sleep, repeat. This is life. This is February in Dakota Territory. This is the long winter, and it's not over yet. Not even close. Late February brings something unexpected. A warm day, not warm like summer, not even warm like normal, but warm enough that the temperature climbs above 0, warm enough that the icicles hanging from the roof start to drip. You hear it first, the dripping, tiny sounds like a clock ticking, water hitting snow, plop, plop, plop. Your mother hears it too. She stops grinding mid-crank, tilts her head, listens. Is that or water? Your father finishes. He's at the window, pressing his face against the glass. It's melting. Everyone rushes to look. Sure enough, the icicles are weeping. Actual liquid water running down in little streams. William touches the window. Is winter over? No, your father says. Too quick. Too harsh. He catches himself. Softens. No, son. Just a warm spell. It'll get cold again. He's right, of course, but for one day, one beautiful day, it feels like maybe this could end, like maybe spring is real and not just a story people tell. You open the door, stand in the doorway, breathing air that doesn't hurt, air that feels almost soft. It's probably 10 degrees, maybe 15, nothing special, but after months of 20 and 30 below, it feels like a gift, like the world remembered it doesn't have to be cruel all the time. Your father bundles up anyway. I'm checking the animals. The last cow is still alive. Barely. She's standing because cows stand, but her eyes are dull. Her coat is patchy, ribs showing through like prison bars. You follow your father out, just to be outside, just to move without immediately freezing. The snow has a crust on it from the slight melt and refreeze. It crunches under your feet. The sound is different than the squeaky crunch of super cold snow. This sounds almost normal. You walk to the Olsons' shanty. The path between houses is a trench now, walls of snow on both sides, taller than your head, like walking through a maze. Mrs. Olson answers the door. She's aged 20 years in 4 months, grey hair, sunken cheeks, but she smiles when she sees you. Sarah, come in, come in. Their shanty is exactly like yours, dark, cold despite the stove, smells like hay smoke and unwashed bodies and desperation. Margaret is there, your friend, the one you were supposed to help with reading back in October. You barely recognise her. She was plump then, round-faced and rosy. Now she's a ghost, thin arms, hollow eyes. "Hi," she says. Her voice is quiet, like she forgot how to be loud. "Hi." You sit together by the stove. Don't talk much. What is there to say? We're starving. We're scared. We might not make it. She knows. You know. Everyone knows. But you hold hands. Just sit there holding hands like when you were little, before winter, before everything. It helps. Having someone who understands, someone going through the same hell. Mrs. Olson gives you each a piece of bread, tiny, barely a mouthful, but she gives it freely. "Eat," she says. "You're too thin." You are. You all are. But you take the bread. Eat it slow. Make it last. Margaret tells you about the book she's reading. Same book from October. She's only on chapter 3. Hard to focus when you're hungry. Hard to care about made-up people when real survival is eating your brain. But she tries. Tells you the story. You half listen. Just enjoying the sound of her voice. The normalcy of girl talk. For 10 minutes, you're not starving pioneers. You're just friends. Just girls who like books and gossip and normal things. Then the wind picks up, the temperature drops, the moment passes. You walk home through the trenches. The warm spell is over. Already you can feel it. The cold coming back. Winter remembering its job. That night the temperature plunges, drops 40 degrees in 3 hours. The windows frosted so thick you can't see out. Your father checks his thermometer. 35 below. Colder than it's been in weeks. Like winter got mad about the warm day, like it's punishing you for having hope. The hay supply is critical now. You've burned through most of it. What's left wouldn't fill a laundry basket. Your father eyes it, does math in his head. 2 days, maybe 3. Then what? James asks. He's gotten blunt. No filter anymore. Just asks the questions everyone's thinking. Then we burn furniture, your father says. He's not joking. The chairs, the table, the bed frames, anything wood, anything that'll burn. You start that night. Your father takes apart one of the beds. James and William will share from now on. 3 to a bed. The bed slats go into the stove. They burn hot, fast, gone in an hour. But they're warm. For that hour, the shanty is actually warm. You can feel your fingers, your toes, your face. It's glorious. And terrifying. Because you just burned a bed to feel your fingers for an hour. How many more hours do you have? How much more furniture before you're out of things to burn? Your mother doesn't cry about the bed. She just strips the remaining straw mattress, saves it for insulation, wastes nothing. You're learning that about survival. Nothing goes to waste. Everything has a second use, a third use. You use it until it's gone, then you find something else. The next day is brutal. The cold has teeth now, bites through the walls, through your clothes, through your skin. You huddle by the stove, all 5 of you pressed together, sharing body heat because that's free. That's the one thing you have plenty of. Your mother tells you about the old country, Norway, where her grandparents came from, about winters there that made this look mild. They built beds with doors, she says, like little cabinets. You'd crawl in and close the doors and sleep. The walls held your heat in. Did it work? William asks. Must have. They survived. You think about that, about people finding ways to live in places that should kill them, about humans being stubborn enough to just refuse to die. Maybe that's all you're doing, being stubborn, refusing to quit. Your father brings home news from town. The Baxters left. Tried to walk east to Huron, 60 miles. In this cold? Your mother's voice goes sharp. They were out of food. Said they had to try. You don't ask if anyone thinks they made it. The answer's written on every face. No, they didn't make it. 60 miles in 30 below weather with no food. That's suicide with extra steps. But you understand why they tried. Sitting here waiting to starve is its own kind of hell. At least walking gives you something to do. A purpose. Even if that purpose is freezing to death on the prairie. The wheat is down to £2. £2 for 5 people. Your mother rations it out in tablespoons now. Measures it like gold dust. The bread you make barely counts as bread, more like wheat paste, gummy, hard to swallow, but it's something in your stomach. William stops eating his, says it makes him feel sick. Your mother forces him, makes him choke it down. You have to eat, she says. You have to. He cries while he eats, quiet tears running down his face, hating every bite. You hate watching it. Hate how this winter has turned food into something painful, into something you force into yourself just to stay alive. James eats his portion without complaint. Always does. Never wastes a crumb. You wonder what he's thinking, if he's scared, if he's given up. He never says. Your father teaches him to set snares for rabbits, for anything. The prairie is empty of game, but maybe something's out there. They set 3 snares near the shanty. Check them every day. Nothing. The rabbits are either dead or smart enough to stay hidden. March arrives. You think. Your mother marks it on the calendar, March 1st, or thereabouts. 2 more months. Just 2 more months till May, till the trains might run, till help might come. 2 months sounds impossible, sounds like forever, but you've made it this far. 4 months down, 2 to go. You can do 2 more months. You have to. The storms are different now, shorter, less vicious, like winter's losing interest, getting bored with tormenting you. But they still come, still dump snow, still trap you inside, just not for as long. 3 days becomes 2 days, 2 days becomes 1, 1 day becomes half a day. Progress, barely, but progress. Your father starts planning for spring, actually talking about it like it's real, like it'll happen. We'll need to plough early, he says. Get the seed in as soon as the ground thaws. Seed, right. The seed you ate, the wheat you ground up to survive, that was supposed to go in the ground, supposed to become next year's crop. We'll manage, your mother says, her favourite phrase, her constant refrain. We'll manage, we'll figure it out, we'll survive. And somehow you believe her, or you want to believe her, or you're too tired not to believe her. One warm afternoon, you find a dead bird, frozen solid, fell right out of the sky and landed in the snow. You bring it inside. Your mother plucks it, cleans it. It's tiny, barely bigger than your fist, but it's meat. She makes soup, the thinnest soup ever made. 1 small bird, gallon of water, some salt. It tastes like heaven, like hope, like maybe the world hasn't completely given up on you. You each get a cup. William drinks his too fast, burns his tongue, doesn't care, just grins with his burnt mouth and asks for more. There isn't more, but your mother smiles at his asking, at the return of want, of appetite, of life. That night you dream about food again, but this time it's different. This time you're outside, walking on green grass, picking wild strawberries, eating them warm from the sun. You wake up almost happy. Then remember where you are. what you are. The happiness evaporates, but for a second there you had it. For a second you forgot to be miserable. Your father finds a cache of twisted hay you forgot about, hidden under a pile of tools in the corner, maybe 20 twists, a day's worth of fuel. He holds them up like treasure. Look at this. Look what we found. You all celebrate, actually celebrate finding hay. Finding the thing you've been making for months, the thing you're sick of looking at, but now it's precious. Now it's the difference between warm and frozen. Perspective. That's what this winter teaches. Everything's relative. Everything depends on context. A handful of hay can make you weep with joy when you thought you were out. The grinder breaks again, this time worse. The whole grinding mechanism cracks, just splits right down the middle. Your father tries to fix it, can't. It's done. Dead, beyond repair. You stare at the broken pieces, at the thing that kept you alive for months. Now it's junk, useless metal and wood. What do we do, you ask? Your father picks up the biggest piece, looks at the rough edges. We improvise. He finds a flat stone, a smooth rock from the creek bed, finds another one, makes a grinding surface between them. It works, sort of. You put wheat between the stones, crush it with your hands, grinding it like people did 1,000 years ago. It's slower than the grinder, harder, hurts your hands, but it works. You spend all afternoon grinding enough for one small loaf. Your hands are raw, bleeding, but you've got flour. Your mother bakes it without comment, without complaint, just adapts, keeps going. That's the theme now. Adapt, improvise, keep going, because what else is there? You eat the bread by candlelight. Your mother found one candle, been saving it, but tonight she lights it, just for a little while. The flame dances, throws shadows, makes the shanty feel almost cozy. William reaches toward it, wants to touch the light. Your mother pulls his hand back gently. Just look, she says, just enjoy it. So you do. You sit there as a family and watch a candle burn. Watch light exist in the darkness. Watch something beautiful and small and temporary. And for those few minutes, winter doesn't matter. The cold doesn't matter. The hunger doesn't matter. Just this, just light, just being together. The candle burns down. Your mother blows it out to save the last inch for another time. The darkness returns, but somehow it feels less heavy. You're still here, still alive, still fighting. Spring is coming. You can feel it now, not in the air, not in the temperature, but in something deeper. Some animal knowledge that this can't last forever. Winter always ends, always has, always will. You just have to last long enough to see it, and you will, somehow. You will. The next morning brings another test. The last cow dies. Your father finds her in the lean-to, frozen, standing up, literally froze to death on her feet. He doesn't tell William and James right away, just tells your mother. You overhear from your spot by the stove. We have to butcher her today, he says, before she thaws and the meat goes bad. Your mother nods. I'll help. They work outside in the brutal cold. You watch through the window, see them with knives and saws, see the red on the white snow. It takes hours. Their hands must be numb, must be painful, but they keep working because meat is meat, because you can't afford to waste anything. They bring it in piece by piece, frozen solid. Stack it in the lean-to like cordwood. More meat than you've seen in months. Enough to last till spring if you're careful. If spring actually comes. William asks where the cow went. Your father tells him the truth. No point lying. She died, but she's going to keep us alive. That's what cows do. They give us milk and meat and help us live. William accepts this. He's 7. Death makes sense at 7. It's just part of things. That night you have real stew, beef and a few wizened potatoes the Olsons traded for wheat. The smell makes your stomach cramp, makes your mouth water so much you have to swallow. You eat slow, savouring every bite. The meat is tough, stringy, but it's protein, actual protein. Your body starts absorbing it immediately. You can almost feel it. James asks for seconds. There are seconds. Your mother gives him more, gives everyone more. Full. When's the last time you felt full? You can't remember, but tonight you're full, properly full. Your stomach actually feels satisfied. William falls asleep at the table, just face plants into his empty bowl, too full, too content, too exhausted to stay awake. Your father carries him to bed, tucks him in, stands there looking at him for a long minute. He's going to make it, your father says quietly. They're both going to make it. Your mother takes his hand. We all are. You hope she's right. The meat helps. The food helps. But hope? That's harder. Still, tonight you have full bellies. Tonight you have heat from burning a chair leg. Tonight you're alive. Tomorrow can worry about itself. You wake up to your mother singing, actual singing, a hymn from church, quiet, barely a whisper, but it's song. You haven't heard her sing since October. Didn't realize how much you missed it. What are you singing for? You ask. She turns, smiles, a real smile that reaches her eyes. It's March. We made it to March, Sarah. We're going to make it. 3 weeks pass. 3 weeks of eating beef carefully, of grinding wheat with stones, of burning furniture one piece at a time. 3 weeks of storms getting weaker, of calm days getting longer, of temperatures slowly climbing. It's still cold, still below zero most days. But the wind feels different, less angry, more tired. Winter is losing. You can feel it. In your bones, in the air, in the way the sun feels just slightly warmer on your face during the brief moments it appears. Mr. Hartley from the store makes an announcement. Someone spotted a crow, an actual living crow flying over town. People get excited. Crows mean spring. Crows mean the world is waking up. Crows mean you might actually survive this. You don't see the crow yourself, but you believe it exists. You need to believe it exists. Your father takes inventory, counts what's left. Beef for maybe 3 more weeks, wheat for 1 week, hay for 2 days, furniture enough to burn for maybe a week if you're careful. We're cutting it close, he says. Close. That's an understatement. You're running on fumes, on hope, on pure stubbornness. But you're still running, still here, still breathing. That has to count for something. Late March brings rain, not snow, rain. Cold rain that freezes on contact, but rain. You stand at the door and watch it fall, actual liquid water from the sky. The sound it makes is different than snow, sharper, clearer. It's changing, your father says. Winter's breaking. You want to believe him, and part of you does. The part that survived this far. The part that refuses to quit. Rain means warmth is coming. Rain means spring is real. Rain means maybe, just maybe, you're going to make it through this. You close your eyes and listen to the rain. Let yourself hope. Just a little. Just enough. Because that's all you need. Just enough hope to make it 1 more day, 1 more week, 1 more month, till spring, till trains, till life begins again. April 1st is warm. Actually warm. Above freezing. Water dripping everywhere. Snow melting in the sun. You want to believe it. Want to trust that this is real. That winter's finally done. Your father knows better. Don't get your hopes up. There'll be more storms. He's right. Of course he's right. But you hate him for saying it anyway. Hate that he can't just let you have this one good day. You go outside without your coat, just your shawl. The air feels soft, almost gentle. The sun is bright, painfully bright after months of grey. You close your eyes and turn your face up. Let the sun hit your skin. Feel warmth, actual warmth, not stove warmth, not body heat warmth, sun warmth. It makes you want to cry, makes you remember what being alive feels like, what living is supposed to be. Margaret comes out of her shanty, sees you standing there, walks over. You stand together in the sun, not talking, just existing in warmth, in light, in something that isn't cold and dark and terrible. "Do you think it's over?" she asks. "No, me neither, but you stand there anyway, soaking it up, banking warmth like you can save it for later, store it in your bones. The warm spell lasts 2 days, 2 glorious days of melting snow and dripping eaves and mud appearing where there was only ice. Then the temperature drops. Another blizzard rolls in, because of course it does. Your father doesn't say 'I told you so', doesn't have to. His face says it for him. The storm is smaller, weaker, only dumps 6 inches instead of 2 feet, only lasts a day instead of 3, but it's still a storm, still a reminder that winter isn't done with you yet, won't be done until it's good and ready. The beef is running out, your mother rations it down to nothing, an ounce per person per day, just enough to taste, just enough to remember what meat is. The wheat is gone, completely gone. You ground the last handful 3 days ago, made bread so small it was more like crackers. Now there's nothing, no wheat, no flour, no grain of any kind. Your family stares at empty shelves, empty bins, empty everything. "What do we eat?" William asks. Simple question, horrible question. Your mother doesn't answer right away, just stands there looking at nothing, thinking. "We'll find something," she says finally. But there's nothing to find. The town is empty. Every store, every pantry, every root cellar, all of it picked clean months ago. You're out of food, actually truly out. Mr. Hartley calls another meeting. The last few families who can still walk gather at the store. Maybe 30 people total out of the 100 who were here in October. Where'd the rest go? Some left, tried to walk east, some died, froze or starved or just gave up. Some are in their shanties too weak to come, too far gone to care. Mr. Hartley looks like death, grey skin, sunken eyes, shaking hands. "We're out," he says. No preamble, no gentle lead-in, just the truth. "The store is empty. I've got nothing left to sell." Silence. What is there to say? "What about the trains?" someone asks, voice cracking, desperate. "I sent word to Huron 2 weeks ago. No response. Lines might still be down. So we just wait. We just starve and wait? I don't know what else to do." Nobody does. That's the problem. Nobody knows what to do when you've done everything, and it's still not enough. You walk home in a daze. Your father is quiet. Too quiet. Your mother keeps her face blank, neutral, but you can see the fear underneath. That night you eat nothing. There's nothing to eat. You go to bed hungry, wake up hungry, stay hungry. It's a different kind of hungry now, not the stomach-cramping hungry of before. This is deeper, cellular, your body eating itself, breaking down muscle for energy, shutting down anything non-essential. You sleep most of the time, so does James, so does William. Sleep conserves energy, sleep makes time pass, sleep makes you forget how hungry you are. Your mother won't sleep. She sits by the window, watching, waiting. For what? You don't know. Maybe trains, maybe spring, maybe a miracle. Your father paces, wears a path in the floor, trying to think, trying to find a solution. There isn't one, but he keeps trying. 3 days of nothing. 3 days of water and sleep and waiting to die. You're too weak to grind even if you had wheat, too weak to twist hay even if it mattered, too weak to do much besides lie there and breathe. This is it, you think. This is how it ends. Not with a storm, not with cold, just with running out, just with time catching up. On the fourth day, Mr. Henderson brings news. He heard something, maybe. Hard to tell, but he thinks he heard a whistle. A train whistle? Your father asks. I don't know, maybe, or maybe I'm going crazy. Going crazy is a real possibility. Starvation does that, makes you hear things, see things, believe things that aren't real. But your father goes to check anyway, walks to the edge of town, looks east down the tracks. Nothing, just snow-covered rails disappearing into the distance. No train, no smoke, no sound. He comes back defeated. Henderson was hearing things. But that night, you hear it too. Faint, far away. A whistle, or something like a whistle. Did you hear that? You ask. Hear what? That sound, like another whistle, louder this time, definite. Your father is at the window, pressing his face to the glass, staring east. I see smoke, he says, voice shaking. I see smoke. Everyone rushes to look. Sure enough, there's a dark smudge on the horizon, moving, getting bigger. It's a train, your mother whispers. It's actually a train. You don't believe it. Can't believe it. Trains are things from before, from the old world. They don't exist anymore. But the smoke keeps coming, the whistle keeps sounding, and then you see it. Black engine, small but real, pushing through the last drifts on the tracks. The whole town comes out. People you haven't seen in weeks, people you thought were dead, all stumbling out of their shanties, all staring east, all watching the impossible happen. The train gets closer, closer, slows, stops at the station. Nobody moves. You're all too scared it's a dream, too scared it'll disappear if you get close. Then the engineer climbs down, real, solid, alive. He looks at the crowd of skeletal people staring at him and his face goes white. Good God, he says, what happened here? Winter, your father says. Simple answer, complete answer. The train is full of supplies, flour, sugar, coffee, salt pork, dried beans. Everything, all the things you ran out of months ago, all the things you forgot existed, Mr. Hartley cries, just stands there on the platform sobbing. He's not the only one. Your mother buys flour, actual white flour, not wheat to grind, flour ready to use. She holds the sack like it's made of gold. That night you have real bread made from real flour with real sugar. It's soft, light, nothing like the dense, gritty stuff you've been choking down. William eats 3 pieces, gets sick, throws it all up. His stomach can't handle rich food anymore. It's been too long. Your mother gives him smaller pieces, makes him eat slow. His body has to remember how to digest, how to process actual nutrition. You eat slow too, savouring every bite, every crumb, every moment of fullness. The train brought news too. The winter hit everywhere. Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, all of it buried, all of it starving. You weren't alone. Doesn't make it better, but it helps somehow. More trains come, 1 a day, then 2 a day, bringing supplies, bringing news, bringing life back to the prairie. The snow starts melting for real, not a false spring, the real thing. Water everywhere, rivers of meltwater running through the streets, the drifts shrinking, the ground appearing, mud. You never thought you'd be happy to see mud, but mud means earth, means solid ground, means winter is actually finally ending. Mr. Olson plants seeds in his garden. It's too early, probably, but he does it anyway, needs to believe in growing things again, needs to trust that life continues. You help your mother clean the shanty, sweep out months of accumulated everything, hay bits, dust, grime, all of it goes. Fresh air comes in through the open door, real air, spring air. It smells like dirt and water and growing things. Margaret stops by. She looks better, still thin, still haunted, but better, more alive. Want to practice reading? She asks. You almost laugh. Reading, that thing from before, that normal thing. Sure, you say. You sit outside in the actual sunshine and read together, stumbling over words, laughing when you mess up, being kids again, being normal again. It feels weird. Wrong, almost. Like you don't deserve to be happy, like you should still be suffering, but you're not suffering. Not right now. Right now you're full and warm and reading in the sun. And that's okay. It's allowed to be okay. Your father surveys the farm, checks the fields. They're still frozen, still snow-covered in the low spots, but thawing, slowly. Getting ready. We'll plant late, he says, but we'll plant. We'll get a crop in. A crop. The future. Planning ahead. These are things you stopped doing. Things that seemed impossible, but now they're not. Now the future exists again. Your mother finds her diary, hasn't written in it since January. She sits at the table, pen in hand, staring at blank pages. I don't know what to write, she says. How do you write about this? How do you explain what we went through? You don't know. You don't think anyone who wasn't here could understand, could believe it, could imagine surviving it. She writes anyway. Simple words. We made it. Winter is over. We survived. That's all there is to say, really. You survived, against everything, against odds that should have killed you. You lived. The Baxters didn't come back. The family that tried to walk to Huron, they're gone. Probably frozen somewhere on the prairie. Probably won't be found till summer. 3 other families didn't make it either. Found dead in their shanties, starved, froze, just ran out. Could have been you. Should have been you, maybe. The fact that it wasn't feels like luck, like grace, like something you don't deserve but got anyway. You don't know why you lived and they didn't. Don't know why your family made it when others failed. There's no logic to it. No fairness. Just chance. Just stubborn refusal to quit. Just one more day repeated until the days added up to enough. The town buries its dead when the ground thaws. You attend the service, everyone does, standing together, remembering, grieving people you barely knew but shared hell with. The preacher talks about sacrifice, about faith, about God's plan. You don't know about that. Don't know if there was a plan. Don't know if any of this meant anything, but you're alive. Your family is alive, and that has to be enough. Spring comes in fully now. Real warmth, green appearing in patches, birds returning, life everywhere. You watch it happen with different eyes, with survivor eyes. Every flower feels like a miracle. Every warm day feels like a gift. Every meal feels like abundance. You'll never take food for granted again. Never complain about being too warm. Never waste anything. This winter taught you that. Taught you what matters, what doesn't, what you can endure. Your father plants the fields. You help. All of you help, pushing seeds into cold earth, trusting they'll grow, trusting life will return. It does, slowly. Green shoots appearing, reaching towards sun, doing what they're made to do, growing, living, continuing. Just like you, William gains weight first. Kids bounce back faster. His face fills out. His energy returns. He runs again. Actually runs. You forgot kids were supposed to run. James takes longer. He's quiet still, changed. You recognize that in him because you feel it in yourself. Something shifted, something broke and healed wrong. You're not the same girl from October. That girl is gone, dead in the snow somewhere. This new version of you is harder, colder, less likely to trust that things will be okay. Because they weren't okay. They were terrible. And being okay now doesn't erase that. Your mother notices, catches you staring at nothing, at the space where winter was. Sarah, she says gently, it's over. You can let it go. Can you? You're not sure. The winter lives in your bones now, in your dreams, in the way you hoard food. Save every scrap. Panic when supplies run low. Normal people don't do that. Normal people trust there'll be more. Trust the trains will run. Trust winter won't last forever. You can't trust that anymore. You know better now. but you're trying. That's something. You're trying to be normal, trying to remember how to laugh, how to hope, how to believe in tomorrow. It's hard work, harder than grinding wheat, harder than twisting hay. This work of becoming human again after surviving like an animal. Margaret understands. You talk about it sometimes, sitting in the sun, trying to find words for what you went through, what it did to you. I still wake up cold, she says, even when it's warm. My body doesn't believe it yet. You nod. You do the same thing. Check the supplies every day. Count the flour. Make sure it's real. Make sure it's still there. Your mother says it'll fade. The fear, the trauma, says time heals. Maybe she's right, you hope she's right, but right now it's still so fresh, so raw. The town celebrates, throws a party, first one since October, music, dancing, food, actual abundance of food. You eat until you're sick, can't help it, can't stop. Your body still thinks this is the last meal, still operates on famine logic, but you're surrounded by people who understand, who are doing the same thing, who know what it means to be hungry, to be scared, to barely survive. You're not alone in this. That helps, knowing everyone's carrying the same weight, same memories, same scars. The preacher gives thanks. Thanks God for deliverance, for spring, for survival. People cry during the prayer, release months of held-in fear, held in grief, held in everything. You cry too. Let it out. Let the winter go, or try to anyway. Your father stands up, raises his glass. To the long winter, he says. May we never see its like again. Here, here, everyone echoes. You drink water, not wine. But it feels ceremonial anyway, feels like marking an ending, a transition, a survival. Unlike your warm bed right now, your full stomach, your safe home, where winter is just weather, where survival is guaranteed, where suffering like this seems impossible, where you can rest, where you can let go, where you can finally sleep. Late April and the world looks wrong, too green, too loud, too alive, birds everywhere, singing, chirping, making racket. You forgot how noisy spring is, how much sound living things make. It hurts your ears, makes you want to hide inside where it's quiet, where the world makes sense. But you don't hide. You force yourself outside, force yourself to adjust, to remember that noise means life, that life is good, even when it doesn't feel good. The fields are mud, deep, sucking mud that grabs your boots. Your father loves it. Stands in the middle of his plot, just grinning at the mess. Good mud, he says, means the ground's ready, means we can plant. Planting, the thing you do when you believe in harvest, when you trust there'll be a next year, when you think beyond today. You've stopped thinking that way. Winter taught you different, taught you that tomorrow isn't guaranteed, that planning ahead is a luxury. But your father plans anyway, marks out rows, decides what goes where, corn here, wheat there, like it's normal, like last winter didn't happen. Maybe that's how you survive. You pretend it didn't change everything. You act normal until normal becomes real again. The town's different though, smaller, quieter. 30 families left out of the 100 who came west. Some died, some left, some just disappeared during the winter, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody asks too hard. The answers are all bad. The empty shanties stand like tombstones. Nobody moves into them. Nobody wants to. They're haunted, not by ghosts, by memories, by suffering. Eventually someone will tear them down. Use the wood, waste not, want not. But for now they just sit there, reminding everyone, bearing witness. You walk past the Henderson place. They made it. All of them. Even baby Mary. She's bigger now, sitting up, smiling. No memory of the winter that almost killed her. Lucky, to be too young to remember, to not carry this forward. Mrs. Henderson waves from the doorway, invites you in for tea. Actual tea from the store with sugar. You sit at her table, drink from a real cup, eat a cookie like it's nothing, like food is just food and not a miracle. She talks about normal things, the garden, the weather, her plans for summer. You half listen, trying to care, trying to engage. But part of you is still back there, still in the dark shanty, still grinding wheat with bloody hands, still waiting for the next storm. Sarah, Mrs. Henderson's looking at you, concerned. Are you all right? Yeah, sorry, just tired. She nods, understands everyone's tired. Tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Soul tired, bone tired, survivor tired. It'll get easier, she says. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. You hope she's right. The store is full now, shelves packed with things, flour, sugar, coffee, canned goods, all the stuff that was empty for months. You stand in front of the flour sacks and just stare. 20 different kinds, white flour, wheat flour, corn flour, rye flour, all of it right there, available, buyable. Your mother buys 3 sacks. You know you don't need 3, you've got 2 at home already, but she buys them anyway. Can't help it, can't stop the hoarding instinct. Mr. Hartley doesn't judge, just takes the money. He's doing the same thing. His storeroom is stuffed, overstocked, more inventory than he could sell in a year, but he keeps ordering more, keeps filling shelves, because empty shelves mean winter, mean death, mean terror. None of you are over it, you're just pretending better. School starts up again. The building sat empty all winter, too cold, too dangerous, no fuel to heat it, no kids with energy to learn. Now the teacher rings the bell. 15 kids show up. Used to be 40, but 15 is something. 15 means continuation, means future. You sit at your old desk, pull out the slate, try to remember long division. Can't. Your brain is mush. Months of survival mode turned everything else off. The teacher is patient. Starts simple. Basic arithmetic. Reading practice. Things you knew cold in October. Things you've forgotten. Margaret sits next to you. She's forgotten too. You struggle through lessons together, making mistakes, laughing about it, pretending it's funny and not terrifying, because it is terrifying how much you lost, how much winter took, not just food and warmth, but knowledge, skills, parts of yourself you didn't know could disappear. At recess you play games, or try to. Your body doesn't remember how. Running feels wrong, jumping feels dangerous, fun feels impossible. The little kids adapt faster. They're already screaming and chasing, already being kids again. But the older ones, you all stand around, awkward, changed. We should do something, Margaret says. Like what? I don't know. Something fun, something normal. So you try. You organise a game of tag. Make yourself run. Make yourself laugh when you're caught. Make yourself be 14 again instead of whatever the winter turned you into. It works. Sort of. For a few minutes you forget. You're just kids playing. Just normal. Just alive. Then the wind picks up. Just a normal spring wind. But for a second your heart stops. Your body tenses. Ready for another blizzard. Ready for winter to come back. It doesn't. It's just wind. Warm wind. Safe wind. But your body doesn't trust it. Your body remembers. Everyone stopped at the same time. All the older kids frozen, waiting, bracing. The little kids don't notice. They keep playing, keep being normal, and you all pretend that pause didn't happen, that you're not still scared, that winter really is over. Sunday brings church, first service since March. The church building survived, barely. Roof leaked. Pews got wet. But it's standing. It's usable. The whole town comes. Even people who never attended before. Everyone needs this. Needs community, needs to be together, needs to acknowledge what happened. The preacher talks about Job, about suffering, about faith tested, about endurance rewarded. You try to listen, try to find meaning, try to believe there was a reason. You can't. It just feels random, cruel, like winter happened because winter happens. Not because God wanted to teach you something, not because you needed to learn endurance, just because, just bad luck, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But you don't say that. You bow your head during prayer. You sing the hymns. You participate because that's what you do. That's how community works. After service, people gather outside, talk, share stories, compare scars. Everyone's got them, physical and otherwise. Almanzo is there. Cap Garland too. The boys who walked through hell to get wheat. They're heroes now. People buy them drinks. Thank them, treat them special. They don't seem comfortable with it. They just did what needed doing, same as everyone else. Surviving wasn't heroic, it was just necessary. But people need heroes, need to believe some of it mattered, some of it was noble. So Almanzo and Cap smile and accept the praise and probably wish everyone would shut up about it. You understand, you don't want to talk about winter either, don't want to relive it, don't want it to be the thing that defines you forever. But it does define you. Will always define you. You're a long winter survivor now. That's your identity, your badge, your scar, whether you want it or not. May arrives gentle, warm days, cool nights, perfect growing weather. The fields turn green, tiny shoots pushing up through mud. Reaching for sun, your father checks them every day, counts them like money. These shoots are next year's food, next year's income, next year's survival. He's obsessive about it, pulls weeds by hand, guards against birds, watches the sky for frost because you can't trust anything anymore, can't assume the world will cooperate. Winter taught you that. The world doesn't care. The world will kill you without thinking twice. You survive by being smarter, more careful, more paranoid. Your mother plants a garden, tomatoes, beans, carrots, things that grow fast, things you can eat by summer. She tends it like a baby. Waters it, talks to it, begs it to grow. William helps. He's good at it, gentle with the tiny plants, patient. He kneels in the dirt for hours, moving slow, being careful. The garden responds, grows, thrives, like it never doubted, like winter was nothing, just a pause, just waiting. You wish you could be like that, just bounce back, just grow, just continue like nothing happened, but you're not a plant, you're a person, and people carry things, remember things, break in ways that don't heal clean. The town organises a dance, first social event since October, everyone dresses up, well, as dressed up as you can get when you burned half your clothes for fuel. You wear your best dress. It's too big now, hangs loose. You've lost weight you can't gain back. Your body doesn't trust abundance yet. Still holds on to every calorie. Still operates on famine mode. The music starts. Fiddles, a guitar, someone playing spoons. It sounds happy. Sounds like before. Like the old world where people danced and laughed and didn't think about dying. Couples dance, your parents dance, they look good together, happy, like winter didn't age them 20 years, like they're still the people they were. Maybe they are. Maybe you're the only one who can't go back, who can't pretend, who can't forget. A boy asks you to dance. You don't know his name, he's new, came in on the train, didn't live through winter here, doesn't know, doesn't understand. You say no, can't imagine dancing, can't imagine being that carefree, that light, that normal. He looks hurt, confused, moves on to ask Margaret. She says yes. They dance. She smiles. She's healing faster than you, or hiding it better. Hard to tell. You sit against the wall and watch. Feel separate. Feel broken. Feel like you're on the outside of life looking in. Like you died last winter and nobody noticed. Like you're a ghost at your own survival. Your mother sits next to you. Takes your hand, doesn't say anything, just sits, just holds your hand, just is there. It helps, not much, but some, enough. The dance ends late, people stumble home happy, Tired but good tired, fun tired, normal tired. You're just tired, the regular kind, the kind that won't go away. You lie in your real bed, the one you didn't burn, in your room that's not freezing, under blankets that are enough, with a full stomach, with safety, with everything you needed last winter and didn't have. And you cry, hard, ugly crying, sobbing into your pillow so nobody hears, crying for the girl you were, the innocence you lost, the fear you can't shake, the trust you can't rebuild, crying because you survived, because you're here, because you made it. And somehow that's the hardest part, living with having survived, carrying that forward, being the person who knows what humans can endure. Your mother comes in, lies down next to you, holds you, rocks you like you're little again, like comfort still works, like mothers can fix things. She can't, but she tries, and that's something. That's love, that's family, that's survival too, the kind that matters, the kind you do together, the kind that keeps you human even when everything else tries to make you animal, even when winter tries to kill your softness. Your hope, your ability to trust tomorrow. You hold on to each other, onto family, onto the thing winter couldn't take. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's how you heal. Maybe that's how you move forward, one held hand at a time, one shared moment, one small piece of normal, until normal becomes real again, until you believe it again, until you are it again. Maybe. Morning comes soft, sunlight through clean windows, bird sounds, William's voice from the other room asking about breakfast, normal sounds, morning sounds, life sounds. Your mother gets up, smooths her hair, wipes her eyes, goes to make breakfast like last night didn't happen, like crying didn't happen, like breaking didn't happen. That's her way. Keep moving, keep doing. Keep being the strong one. You wonder if she cries alone, if she breaks when nobody's watching. Probably. Everyone does. You get up too, wash your face in water that's not frozen, put on clothes that are clean, eat breakfast that exists, do the things, be alive, keep going. The Olsons stop by later, want to borrow a plough. Your father says yes without hesitation. That's how it works now. You share. You help, because you all survived together, because you're bonded in ways people who didn't go through it can't understand. Mrs. Olson brings eggs, fresh eggs from her chickens. They started laying again. She gives you 6, won't take no for an answer, won't accept payment. We help each other, she says. Simple, true. The rule you lived by, the rule that saved you, the rule you'll keep forever now. Your mother makes the eggs for lunch, scrambled, with actual butter from the store. William eats his so fast he chokes. James savours every bite. Your father closes his eyes while he chews, remembering, appreciating, being grateful. Gratitude, that's new, or not new, but different. Deeper. You're grateful for things you never thought about before. Running water, glass windows, solid walls, full stomachs. Tomorrow. Especially tomorrow. The fact that there is one, that you'll wake up, that life continues, that's not guaranteed. Winter taught you that. People die, life ends. Tomorrow is a gift, not a right. The town plants a tree, memorial for those who died. A young oak, small but strong, growing, surviving, thriving against odds, like you. Everyone gathers for the dedication. The preacher says words. People cry. You cry, not just for the dead, for the living too, for what you lost, for what you kept, for the fact that you're here at all. Your father puts his hand on your shoulder, squeezes, says nothing, doesn't need to. The squeeze says everything. We made it. We're here. We're alive. We're together. You lean into him, into family, into the thing that matters most, the thing worth surviving for. The sun sets warm, pink sky, purple clouds, beautiful. You notice beauty again. That's new. That's progress. That's healing. You stand in your doorway and watch it. Watch day become night. Watch light fade gently instead of being swallowed by storm. Watch the world be peaceful. Be safe. Be kind. Your mother joins you, stands beside you, silent, together, breathing evening air, being alive, being here, being okay. Not perfect, not healed, not the same, but okay, and okay is enough. For now, for today, for this moment, okay is everything. Late May and summer's knocking at the door. The heat is real now. Actual warmth that makes you sweat. You forgot about sweating, about being too warm instead of too cold, about stripping off layers instead of piling them on. It feels wrong. Your body doesn't trust it. Keeps expecting the temperature to drop, keeps waiting for the cold to return, but it doesn't. Summer is here, winter is gone, really truly gone. The crops are knee-high, green and healthy, growing like they're trying to make up for lost time. Your father walks the rows every evening, just looking, just appreciating, just believing. He's different now, quieter, more thoughtful. He doesn't take anything for granted anymore, doesn't assume the crop will make it, doesn't plan too far ahead, just tends what's in front of him and hopes for the best. You understand, you're the same way, can't think beyond next week. Next month feels like fantasy. Next year feels impossible, so you focus on now, on today, on this moment. That's all you can handle anyway. The garden is producing, actual vegetables growing, actual food coming from the ground. Your mother picks the first tomato like it's made of gold, red and round and perfect, proof that life continues, that earth still gives, that planting still works. She slices it for dinner. Everyone gets one piece, thin, small, but real, fresh, alive. You eat yours slow, tasting summer, tasting hope, tasting tomorrow. William wants to save the seeds, plant them next year, make more tomatoes, more food, more insurance against hunger. He's changed too, thinks about next winter already, worries about supplies, asks questions about storage, about preparation, about not getting caught unprepared again. He's 7. 7-year-olds shouldn't think like that, but winter made him old. Made all of you old, took away the luxury of being careless, of trusting the world to be kind. James helps build a new shed for storing hay, for keeping fuel dry and ready, just in case, always just in case now. You plan for disaster, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. The town's doing the same. Everybody's stocking up, filling cellars, buying extra. Nobody wants to be caught again. Nobody can survive another winter like that, so you prepare, you save, you remember, always remember. Margaret's family is leaving, moving back east, to Minnesota, to family, to places where winter doesn't try to kill you. You don't blame them. Part of you wants to leave too, wants to run from this place, from the memories, from the ghost of what happened. But another part of you can't leave, can't abandon the place you survived, the place that tested you and didn't break you. There's something here now, something earned, something bought with suffering. You belong here in a way you wouldn't if you'd never faced winter, if you'd never stared death down and refused to blink. This prairie is yours. You paid for it in blood and tears and fear. It's yours, so you stay. You say goodbye to Margaret at the station. The train that brought supplies, the train that saved you. Now it's taking her away, taking your friend, your witness, your fellow survivor. You hug, don't say much. What is there to say? We survived, we made it, good luck out there. All of it feels too small, too insignificant, too unable to capture what you shared. Write me, she says. I will. You probably won't. She probably won't either. Some things are too big for letters, too heavy to carry across distance. You'll always have winter, but you'll have it separately now, alone. The train pulls away. You watch it go. Watch Margaret disappear. Watch another piece of winter leave, another connection break. You're okay with it. Need it maybe. Need to stop defining yourself by what happened. Stop being the girl who survived. Start being the girl who lives. Hard to do, but necessary. School lets out for summer. You passed, barely, but you passed. The teacher understands, gives everyone grace. How do you fail kids who survived the unsurvivable? How do you mark them down for missing lessons when they were busy staying alive? You can't. So she doesn't. You all move forward, ready or not, knowing what you know, carrying what you carry. Your father finishes planting, every field full, every inch used, maximum crop, maximum insurance. He's betting everything on harvest, on autumn being kind, on winter waiting its turn. You hope he's right, hope the gamble pays off, hope the world cooperates. But hope is fragile now, easily broken, carefully guarded. The 4th of July brings celebration, fireworks, food, games, the whole town gathering for something other than survival, for joy, for community, for being alive. You attend, participate, try to feel festive. It works sometimes. For moments you forget, you laugh at something, enjoy the food, watch fireworks light up the sky, feel normal. Then it passes, the weight returns, the awareness, the knowledge that happiness is temporary, that winter always comes back, that suffering is just waiting for its turn. But you're learning to live with that, to hold both things, the joy and the fear, the present and the past, the hope and the trauma, all of it together, all of it true. Your mother teaches you to can vegetables, preserve food for winter, store up, prepare, be ready. You spend July putting up jars, hundreds of them, tomatoes, beans, pickles, everything. It's tedious work, hot work, uncomfortable work, but you do it without complaint, because next winter you'll eat these vegetables, you'll open these jars, you'll be grateful you did the work. Next winter, you can think about it now without panicking, without freezing up. It's just a season, just weather, just something to prepare for, not a monster, not a death sentence, just winter, progress. That's progress. August comes hot and dry. The crops need rain. Your father watches the sky, prays for clouds, worries about drought, about losing the harvest, about next year's food. But rain comes, just enough, just when needed. The crops survive, keep growing, keep thriving, keep promising harvest, keep offering hope. You start to believe, just a little, that maybe things will be okay, that maybe you've paid your dues, that maybe the world will be kind for a while, let you breathe, let you recover, let you heal, maybe. One evening you walk out to the fields, stand among the corn, tall enough now to hide you, green and alive and rustling in the breeze. You close your eyes and listen to life, to growth, to the sound of things being okay. Your father joins you, doesn't say anything, just stands there with you, both of you surrounded by proof that you survived, that you made it, that winter didn't win. I'm proud of you, he says finally. For what? For being strong, for not giving up, for getting through it. You don't feel strong, you feel broken, patched together, barely holding on, but you don't say that. We all got through it, you say instead. Yeah, we did. He puts his arm around your shoulders. You lean into him, into family, into the thing that kept you alive, the reason you survived, the why behind the how. Walking back to the shanty, the sun sets orange and gold, beautiful, peaceful, safe. The kind of sunset that promises tomorrow, that guarantees continuation, that says life goes on. You believe it, finally. After months of doubt, of fear, of waiting for the other shoe to drop, you believe tomorrow will come, that you'll be there to see it, that life continues. Your mother is making dinner when you get home, real dinner, meat and vegetables and bread, abundance, normalcy, life. The smell makes your stomach growl, makes your mouth water, makes you grateful. You set the table. William and James wash up. Your father sits down. Everyone gathers, together, alive, here. The 5 of you who started this journey. The 5 who made it through. Not everyone did. You know that. Remember that. Honor that. But you're allowed to be grateful anyway. Allowed to celebrate survival. Allowed to be happy you're here. Your father says grace. Thanks God for the food. For the family. For making it through. His voice cracks on that last part. Your mother takes his hand. You all bow your heads. Share the moment. The gratitude. The relief. The love. Dinner is good. Simple but good. You eat and talk and laugh. Actually laugh. At something William says. At James's terrible joke. At normal things. Silly things, living things. It feels right, feels like healing, feels like the beginning of after, the start of whatever comes next, the first page of a new chapter. After dishes, you sit outside, the air is warm, soft, gentle, lightning bugs blink in the dark, stars come out one by one. The world is peaceful, beautiful, kind. You could never have imagined this in January, could never have pictured being okay, being happy, being anything other than cold and scared and desperate. But here you are, on the other side, alive, okay, better than okay. Sarah, your mother says softly, time for bed, bed, your real bed, in your warm room, with full stomach and safe walls and tomorrow waiting. Bed sounds perfect, sounds like everything, sounds like the reward for making it through. You hug your parents goodnight, ruffle William's hair, punch James's arm gently, do the things, the normal things, the things that mean family, that mean love, that mean home. In your room, you change into your nightgown, brush your hair, look out the window at the stars, at the prairie stretching endless under moonlight. At the place that almost killed you, the place you survived, the place that's home. You made it. Through the long winter, through the impossible, through the unsurvivable. You're here, you're alive, you're okay, and that's everything. That's the whole story. That's all that matters. Tomorrow the sun will rise, the crops will grow, life will continue. You'll wake up and do it all again, live another day, make another choice, take another step forward. That's survival. That's what you learned. That's what winter taught you. One day at a time, one moment at a time, one breath at a time. You survive by surviving, by refusing to quit, by holding on when letting go seems easier, by choosing tomorrow even when today is hell. You did that. You chose. You held on. You survived, and now you get to live. Really live, not just exist, not just endure, but actually live with joy and hope and belief in tomorrow. That's your reward. That's what you earned. That's what winter couldn't take. You climb into bed, pull up the blankets, close your eyes, let the day go, let the weight settle, let yourself drift towards sleep. Real sleep, safe sleep, the kind that restores instead of just passing time. Your breathing slows, your body relaxes, the tension you've carried for months finally releases. You're safe, you're warm, you're home, you're alive, and that's enough. That's everything. That's the whole point. Unlike the pioneers of 1880, you have the comfort of knowing winter always ends. You have heat at the touch of a button, food at every store, safety in every season. You have everything they fought for, everything they survived for, everything they earned. Rest in that tonight. In your warm bed, in your safe room, in your full-bellied comfort, you have what Sarah and her family desperately needed, what they would have given anything for, what they survived to give their children's children. You're the future they fought for, the tomorrow they believed in, the reason they held on when holding on seemed impossible. Every warm night you have, every full meal, every safe winter, that's their gift to you, their legacy, their survival paying forward. So honor it. Not with guilt, not with obligation, but with gratitude, with awareness, with appreciation for the simple things: heat, food, safety, tomorrow. The things they taught us to value, the lessons written in their survival, the wisdom earned through suffering, the knowledge passed down through generations, that humans can endure, that winter ends, that hope matters, that family is everything, that one more day is always worth fighting for. Sarah would be glad you're warm tonight, would smile knowing you're safe, would want you to sleep peacefully, to rest without fear, to trust tomorrow, to live the life she survived to make possible. So do that for her, for all of them, for the pioneers who faced impossible winters and refused to quit, who ground wheat till their hands bled, who burned their furniture to stay warm, who shared their last food with neighbours, who survived together or not at all. They made it through months that should have killed them, through cold that broke thermometers, through hunger that hollowed them out, through fear that never stopped. They made it, and because they did, you're here, safe, warm, alive. That's the story. That's what matters. Not just that they survived, but that you get to live, really live, without that kind of fear, without that level of desperation, without wondering if you'll see spring. You get to just be, just sleep, just rest, just drift away peacefully. That's their gift. That's what they earned for you. That's the whole point of survival, to make life possible for whoever comes next. So sleep now, deep and peaceful. Let the story settle. Let the long winter become a memory, a reminder, a lesson, but not a fear, not a threat, just history, just something that happened, just proof that humans endure. You're